Hey everyone, welcome to my Friday Hi-5 features, highlighting, you guessed it, 5 items that resonated with me. So instead of writing out a blog post, I decided to get a little feel with the video and get my feet wet in a different and diversified format. So first up, we're going to be talking about a new technology or tool, or at least new for me. A fiction book, a nonfiction book, my post of the week, and a little bit of offline inspiration. So this week, as I was compiling everything that I was going to talk about today, I noticed that there was a productivity theme that kind of ran through everything. So first up is my technology or tool of the week, which is Metrotwit. And you'll find all of the links down below in the text. And Metrotwit is a Twitter client. Now, before you groan and say, oh my goodness, Lauren, why are you recommending another Twitter client? Well, for those of you TweetDeck or Seismic users that get really upset when things crash, Metrotwit doesn't consume as much computer resources as, say, a Seismic or TweetDeck will. It's also a native Windows application, so for all of you PC users like myself, it runs quite fast, and I've been really satisfied with what I've seen so far and how I've been testing it this week. So next up is my fiction book of the week, because let's face it, we can't be online all the time and we need a little escape. So this week, like many other Americans, I've been reading The Hunger Games, and I'm sure you've seen several tweets about how much I absolutely loved this book. And it's about a 16-year-old protagonist, a girl that any child or adult alike could really connect with. And while it may be classified as a sci-fi novel, as a sci-fi fiction book, I really found it to be the survival of humankind. And it just seemed, it's not about space or anything else like that. It's about what humankind could become and what we need to watch out for. So I really encourage you to read it. It's a very quick read, but it'll make you question things. So my nonfiction book of the week is actually The Way We're Working, Is It Working by Tony Schwartz. And I chose this book and I didn't actually read it. But I listened to it on audiobook while I was working. So everything that Tony Schwartz probably cautions against in the book, I happen to do. Consider the irony of it all. But what this book is, Tony Schwartz talks about how technology has enabled us to really kind of spread ourselves pretty thin, and that our mental and physical health has taken a toll because of all of the technology that we have and because we're so multitasked. And while this book may be a little how-to, self-motivational, and not say anything that's, really revolutionary, but it's a great reminder for us to kind of take a step back and figure out where we need to be, where we want to be, and put our health first before our professional lives. And by putting ourselves first, we'll make our professional lives even better. We'll be able to contribute more and be more of a valuable resource to our community. So I encourage you to read this book or listen to it on audiobook as I did. For the post of the week, it is actually an earlier post from HBR, talking about how P&G is actually delayering from the top down to get rid of micromanagement. And their philosophy has been, and they're one of the leading companies in change management. So I find what they do very interesting and kind of like leading the wave for the rest of the companies out there and changing the culture and changing the organization. And what they've decided to do is, instead of having technology increase the number of executives they have, to actually decrease and to empower the middle managers to have more responsibility, more say in how projects are done and how they're completed, and taking that hollow middle management out. And so I really encourage you to read this post. It's very thought-provoking, and P&G's angle is that micromanagement is anti-democratic. And so read this article and figure out what side of the fence you fall on. What perspective do you think is best? And last but not least, the offline inspiration. I've seen a lot of people talk this week about social media fatigue and how we need to take a break, which was also mentioned in the nonfiction book of the week, The Way We're Working Isn't Working. And so I wanted to share with you a method that has helped me kind of deal with the various platforms that we have out there to engage and how to consume what you want to consume when you want to consume it. So rather than having multiple windows up and looking at everything all at once and getting very overwhelmed by the number of channels that are out there, I decided to adopt the Dr. Pepper 10-2-4 model. So for those of you that are not aware, back in the 1920s, Dr. Eddy, a Columbia researcher, found out through some research that the human body kind of shut down at 10:30, 2:30, and 4:30 if it didn't have anything to eat or drink. So Dr. Pepper found out that Dr. Eddy said that if you ate something or drank something at 10, 2, and 4, your body would have that boost of energy and be able to fulfill the day. So they incorporated this research into their advertising, and so they came up with one of the most enduring Dr. Pepper themes, which was drink a bite to eat at 10, 2, and 4. So I work remotely, as you can see, and I sometimes, if I get too wrapped up, I don't leave this chair for a while. So I set a timer and I get up at 10, 2, and 4 to get myself something to drink, something to snack on, and I reserve about 30 to 45 minutes to go through all of the posts that I have selected as favorites, that I've opened up in various browsers, and start to read and engage. And then after my day is over, I look at all of those that I have classified as the personal category. So I encourage you to kind of take some time out and figure out what method is best for you for productivity. Don't try to cookie cutter this experience, right? Because you've got to find out what resonates with you. So next week, be sure to tune in. I'll do another video post. I'm getting a little brave. And so we'll do the Friday Hi-5 features from EduWeb, where I'll be speaking about the 9 hats of community management. Thanks, everybody. Night.